This is Thunder Ridge's weekly timesheet. I'll be going through all of the fields and all of the procedures surrounding this timesheet submission process to answer frequently asked questions and make sure you understand exactly how this needs to be completed for you to get paid accurately. So the top field, to start, your driver name, you'll put that at the top. Please print that. Please print it legibly for our payroll department to read. Your location, we have this implemented across all of our sites across the nation, so please make sure you're putting your site location so we get you on the appropriate payroll. So then starting here, this is an example on the top line. So please follow that as an example, but that obviously doesn't apply to you personally. You've got your date, so please make sure you're filling in the date. Starting our payroll periods start with Saturday, end with Friday. Your route or trip name, you don't have to put anything specific every single stop, but just something that will tell your manager what you ran that day. Tractor trailer or box, if you run the same every day, if you run a box truck every day, you can just draw a line down. Truck number, so make sure that you have this timesheet with you while you're running because you'll want to grab your truck number. The same thing, if you run that every day, you can just draw a line down. Beginning and ending odometer, so make sure you aren't just guessing, but you're taking the actual odometer that came, that is applicable to your run. You've got your authorized clock-in time, so this is the clock-in time that your beginning of your shift. If you are not aware of what your authorized clock-in time is, you need to contact your manager. Every single driver has an authorized clock-in time, and you're not authorized to clock in prior to that time. You've got your contracted end time. That contracted end time is what we get paid for, on the revenue side. We get paid through that end time. If you aren't aware of what that contracted end time is, you need to contact your manager as well. Then actual end time is your clock out time. So you've got your clock in time, clock out time. So this is what time you ended your shift, whether that be at the yard or a station or wherever you end your shift and you're off duty, that is where you will clock out the time. Then you've got total hours and minutes worked. Please keep that in hours and minutes format, not in decimal. So this is from the clock in time to the clock out time, that's your total time. So this up here on this example is 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. is 6 hours. So over here on the left-hand side, you've got your actual hours and information of the shift that you worked. Over here on the right side is explaining any overages for your actual end time of your clock out over your contracted end time. So for example, if you have a late slip that you were held by something from, someone by the post office, you will put the time directly from your late slip. Don't just guess, make sure you're taking the time from your late slip directly. Extra trip, hours and minutes worked, that is if you run an extra trip, getting putting down the time that it took you to run that extra trip. Don't just put what you have on the yellow sheet, put down the actual time that it took you to run that extra trip. If you ran an extra trip outside a normal station that you don't normally run, please note that either here or over in the notes of what stop you made on that extra trip. Then portal, truck, shuttle, these are hours that we pay at a different rate. So if portal applies to you, if your trip ends out at a station and we only get paid on one leg, but we let you portal back to the yard or to another site, that needs to be there. Or if you go shuttle a truck for your manager or a fleet manager, that is paid at a different rate. So if you're taking a truck to get repaired or into the shop, that is when that applies. Layover time, this is only if approved. If you have layover time within your shift, if you go out far and then layover, and that applies to you, if that's been approved, you put that down there. Training and ride-along hours, that's for new employees that you are riding along, that's paid at a different rate as well. And that would also come into play whenever we have company-wide meetings or anything like that for training purposes. Standby hours, or some sites call it swing or ad hoc. If that applies to you, if you're a swing driver that you have standby hours, you need to put your total on that shift. And then this category, any other hours or minutes to arrive at your total overage. So whether that be post-trip, breakdown, accident, traffic, if you were denied a late slip, any of those things, you need to make sure you're putting the full notes of exactly what this other category is and anything else on that shift that your manager might need to know. So again, the left side is for actual time worked and actual information from your truck and what you ran, and the right side is explaining the overage from the actual end time to the contracted end time. Then down at the bottom, you'll total each of these categories. So you'll total all of these columns from hours and minutes worked, late slip, and all across down the line. And if you need extras, you'll do a second timesheet. If you have more lines than what is available here, you'll need to do a second timesheet and keep those together, do page 1, page 2, and total those on the page 2. When you are ready to submit this timesheet, make sure you sign it and date it. And then this is turned in after your Friday shift of each week. So if you end your shift on the overnight shift in the morning at 8 a.m., you would complete this after that shift and turn it in at that point. If you end your shift at night, you need to turn it in after that night shift. With this, you need to be keeping all of your lates and extras. With this timesheet, do not turn those in prior to that, and make sure you're going in order of your late slip and extra trips. Make sure you have all of them that you've noted and put them in date order and staple them to this timesheet behind it. We don't need any other documentation submitted with this. We don't need fuel receipts or registered mail receipts or contract vehicle records. All of those things can be kept on your own. This is turned in weekly, like I said, and there are no exceptions to that. If you do not turn this in within that deadline, it will be on you to get that mailed in, and pay might be delayed, most likely will be delayed. Any other questions, you can contact our payroll department and they can help you out. And otherwise, have a great day. Thanks.